ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोवितं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं गुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुणं साधुतं साधुतं साधितं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा श्रीविशाखावितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome to this discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is. So right now we are discussing chapter 6. The title of the chapter is Dhyana Yoga. We are right now in this shloka between 16 to 23, where the focus is realization of Paramatma. And let us go to the shloka. The shloka is Yatro Paramate Chittam Nirudam Yoga Sevaya Yatra Chaivatmanam Atmanam Pashyanatmani Tushyati Sukam Matyantikam Yatta Buddhi Grahyam Atindriyam Veti Yatra Chaivayam Stitat Chalati Tatvatah Yam Labdva Chaparam Lavam Manyate Nadikam Tata Yasmin Stitona Dukkena Guru Napi Vichalyate Tam Vidya Dukka Samyoga Yogam Yoga Samanitam. The translation is in the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. In the discussion, we were talking about 6.22 Yam Labdva Chaparam Lavam Manyate Nadikam Tata Yasmin Stitona Dukkena Guru Napi Vichalahe. There are two aspects. One aspect is no more hankering. I do not want more. This is what we discussed last discussion. Yam Labdva Chaparam Lavam Manyate Nadikam Tata. I do not want na adikam tata. I don't want more. Now, next part is lamenting. All achievements in our life will be taken away by someone or by death at the time of death. This ripping away of achievements is the biggest source of lamentation. The more we achieve, the more we possess. More we succeed without spiritual consumption of life, greater will be the sense of loss. This is lamentation. We will not be able to explain that I have worked so hard, but everything is being ripped off me. Why? We will see that this is a merciless moment. At the time of death, our faculty of sense will gradually go away. The person may be a powerful person in the world, but if he gets Parkinson's disease or Alzheimer's disease, he forgets everything. He forgets his identity. The nature of the material world is so ruthless that our own material identity will be ripped off. Whatever we achieve, it is necessary that we come out of lamentation. This lamentation is in the material world is not a possibility or probability it is certainty. We will be ripped off all our achievements. We have to pass through phase of lamentation. It is the question of when we have to lament. All of us have to pass through this lamentation. If we achieve service of Krishna in this lifetime, then there is no lamentation. There is only eternal happiness. This is owing to the reason that once we achieve love of Krishna in our life, it can never ever be taken away. It will be forever be with us. We will be eternally happy. We may have different conceptions of achievement in our life, but Bhagavad Gita gives us the highest sense of achievement in our life. This achievement will free us from anchoring, and it will also free us from all lamentation. This is the superior achievement. This is the supreme achievement. The devotees are ends not disturbed even in the greatest misery. So now na dukkena gurunapi vichalayet. So that is why na dukkena gurunapi vichalayet. This is because devotee as Krishna, and Krishna is the ultimate source of joy. There is nothing great to be achieved if we have Krishna with us. Krishna then describes the next shloka. Tam vidya dukkha samaya. Just go to the shloka. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samanita. The yoga here is referring to two different connotations. Dukkha samyoga viyoga. Dukkha samyoga viyoga. Uh, yoga samnita. The yoga here is referring to freedom from miseries. Dukkha samyoga, the miseries that come by contact with the material nature. In sadhana stage, it is in the perfectional stage of yoga, yoga samanita. This is yoga samanita. When we are connected with absolute, in our perfection stage, when we are connected with absolute truth, that that results in viyoga from dukkha. Viyogam yoga samanita. This is the ultimate goal. That is, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are thinking that your relatives will be killed by fighting this war. This killing will be a source of lamentation. So do not think that by avoiding fighting, you can avoid lamentation. Ultimately, lamentation will come on everyone. However, connection with Supreme, Yoga Samanita, you can see Yoga Samanita called trance in yoga, Yoga Samanita. By connecting with absolute truth, if you attain samadhi, that will give ultimate happiness. Yoga, Yoga Samanita, Dukkha Samyoga Viyoga, and Yoga Samanita. By this, we will be free from lamentation of material world. In material world, to avoid lamentation is like being in the sea and avoid getting wet. There is water everywhere. So how we can avoid it? It is not possible. Same way in the material world, we cannot avoid miseries. But when we are taken out of this material world and placed in spiritual world, then dukkha samyoga viyogam happens because we get detached from the material world, and yoga samanitam. Yoga samanitam means connect to the spiritual world. We are freed from material miseries and placed in absolute truth. We need to be steady, um, and become free from anchoring. Thus, samadhi is very important for all us. For devotees, the ultimate samadhi is love for Krishna. There is no more anchoring once we achieve Krishna. This is ultimate and perpetual satisfaction. This starts with simple activity of hearing and chanting the holy names of the Lord. This sukham atyantikam is at two levels: liberation from miseries, and then which is dukkha samyoga viyogam, and then happiness in contact with Supreme, which is yoga samanita. Now, if you go to the two ways of dealing with transcendental emotions. So Dhyana Yoga means silence and stop all material emotions. Bhakti Yoga is to kindle spiritual emotions. First, by Dhyana Yoga, material emotions, we understand that material emotions are cause of miseries. One has to give up material emotion. This varies based on time, place, and circumstances, and based upon path one is practicing. Patanjali in this Yoga Sutra does not describe about the positive emotions very much. We know the line Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which gives the direction of movement of consciousness, and that is uh, samadhi. So, what is samadhi? It is chitta vritti nirodha. This is like check to the progress of consciousness towards material things. Chitta means consciousness rooted in material engagements. Vritti means progress. Second, by Bhakti Yoga. So, Chitta Viruddhi Nirodha means stop consciousness focused on material things. And then by Bhakti Yoga, kindle spiritual emotions. Nirodha means to see. Samadhi is like check to the progress of consciousness towards material things. And yoga, therefore, means cutting down emotions rooted in material things. In case of Bhakti Yoga, the achievement is on higher platform. The achievement is far better. The path also is completely different from Dhyana Yoga. We kindle spiritual emotions, um, and by this, we drive away material emotions. So Dhyana Yoga focuses on Chitta Vritti Nirodha, whereas Bhakti Yoga focuses on connection to Krishna, and the heart, when it gets filled with love for Krishna, there is no material desires in the heart. When Srila Prabhupada went to US, he never had any material desire to be fulfilled. On the other hand, his heart was filled with spiritual desire to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. He saw in US that people were suffering because of forgetfulness of Krishna. Therefore, he wanted to remind them about Krishna. Srila Prabhupada actually prayed to Krishna to turn those people to Krishna so that they return to Krishna. This was Srila Prabhupada's compassion, which is based on a very broad and a higher spiritual vision. This is based on spiritual desires in the heart. These desires automatically eliminate material desires. Bhakti Yoga's focus, therefore, is to kindle spiritual desires by which material desires do not have any space in the heart. The interesting part of Bhakti Yoga is to not to reject negative, but to take to positive, take to Krishna. This is the reason why Bhakti Yoga means taking up spiritual desires rather than giving up material desires. Main thing we notice in Srila Prabhupada, which was missing among his God brothers, was his deep spiritual desires. Srila Prabhupada had deep spiritual desires. His God brothers were very advanced and also remained devotee throughout their life. However, Srila Prabhupada had a deep spiritual desire. He took up the desire to spread Krishna conscious movement all over the world more seriously, fearlessly, tirelessly. The main differentiator of Srila Prabhupada from all his god brothers was not the material desire, but strong spiritual desire to glorify Krishna by sharing the message of Krishna with the whole world. It was this desire which animated Srila Prabhupada to travel far and wide even when he was old. This is spiritual desire to have perfection in life. If we want to have perfection in life, then the best way to do that is to have spiritual desire. Then only our desires will attain perfection. This perfection is offered by Bhakti Yoga. That is the special place of Bhakti Yoga in our life. Now let us go to the next shloka, which is shloka number 24. सनिश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्ण चेतसा संकल्प प्रभवान कामं स्वक्ता सर्वान् शेषता मनसेवेन्द्रिय ग्रामं विनियम्य समन्तता. One should engage oneself in practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by mind. Sanischayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chittasa. Okay. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6 explains multiple trajectories. Now, if we see here, we are right now in shloka number 24 to 32, which is realization of Bhagavan. There were multiple sadhana to sadhaka trajectory. From practice to perfection, there were actually this sadhaka to siddha. Just a moment. I need to correct that. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, Krishna, I am sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. This shloka is referring to Sanischayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamams takta sarvam asheshata manesevendriya grama viniyamya samantata. One should engage oneself in practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by mind. Going back to the slide, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, Krishna explains his journey from sadhaka to siddha in multiple ways. He presents different progressions to show how practice evolves. Each sequence highlights a shift from effort and discipline to steadiness and realization. Now, if you see sloka number 10 to 15 is realization of Brahman, 16 to 23 is realization of Paramatma, 24 to 32 is realization of Bhagavan. In this way, if you see sloka number 6.66, it is saying its main focus is control of mind. Then we come to sloka number 10, 6.10, which is steadiness of mind. Yogi yunjita satata atmanam rasi sthita ekaki yata chittatma nirashit apparikira. So here it is talking about steadiness of mind. Then we have shloka number 6.11. Now, once we control the mind, then we need to go on meditation, systematic meditation to firm concentration. From 6.11 to 6.15, it is more on Brahman realization. Sucho deshe pratistapya stiram asanam atana. Atmana na ati ucharitam nati nicham chailangana kushotra. So it is talking about systematic meditation, and then yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa shantim nirvana parama mat samastam vigachati. You get firm concentration in this point. Mat Samastam is abode of Krishna. Mat Samastam, Adigachari, you get abode of Krishna. The practice. So from here to here, it is a trajectory. Then once again, another trajectory starts. Where na ki asnastu yogosti inashaikantam anasnata na cha ati swapna shilasya jagrito naiva cha acharjuna. Here, Krishna is talking about the practice of regulation. Then 6.23 says, Tam vidya dukkha samyoga. Disconnect yourself from all material attachments and connect to Supreme, which is self-realization. Now, in the starting point is a disturbed mind. 6.6 is a disturbed mind. Mind acts as an enemy. It pulls a practitioner outward. There is a attachment and lack of control. The process begins with discipline and detachment. One reduces dependence on external objects. One lives in simplicity and solitude. The end point is initial mastery. The mind becomes a friend. It starts obeying the practitioner. Practitioner gains basic steadiness of mind. Then 6.11, the starting point is controlled mind, but still practice is not steady. Practitioner needs structure. The process is systematic meditation. A proper seat is prepared. The body is aligned. Gaze is fixed. The mind is focused inward. Fear and desire are reduced. The end point is firm concentration. The mind stays steady on object of meditation. Practice becomes continuous and regulated. In 6.16 to 6.23, the start point is steady practice, but there is a risk of imbalance. The process results in regulation, or we practice regulation. One avoids extreme food, extreme sleep, extreme activity. Life becomes balanced. The mind becomes peaceful. The end point is realization. The yogi experiences inner happiness. The mind is fully controlled. One remains undisturbed in all the situations. This is transition from practice to perfection. Further, from 6.10 to 6.15, the focus is Brahman realization. 6.15, 6.16 to 6.23 explains Paramatma realization. And 6.24 to 32 focuses on Bhagavan realization. So this is how the Dhyana Yoga trajectory moves. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, Kripasindhubhayeva पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. ग्रंथराज भगवद गीता की जय. जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. और प्रेमानंद.